Hey my friends, in this module I want to show you everything you need to know about how to pronounce regular verbs in the past. Now, what I mean is that we have regular verbs that you just add the letter ed, but the sound could be very different. This is something that gives a lot of problems even to really advanced students. When I have a private student, for example, who has a good level of English, one of the first things I want to check is, do they understand the idea and can they get the pronunciation correct? Now, in this first video, I want to just quickly show you the rules, quickly introduce the concepts, and in the following videos, we will see in a lot more detail. So this is just a quick introduction. All right, let's go. So with regular verbs in the past, you simply put the letters ed at the end of the verb. Simple, right? Because here we have some examples. Called, asked, worked, arrived, needed, wanted. But can you hear that the ed is not always the same sound? It changes, like asked, called, needed. The reality is, in the pronunciation, we have three different groups. Now, the first group is the easy group. It's when ed really has the sound of ed, wanted, needed, ended. It's the easiest group and nobody has problems with it. The next one I call the T group is when the ed has the sound of a T. For example, stopped, asked, missed, escaped. The next one I call is the apostrophe D, right? The apostrophe is a symbol before the D. So this is when the E just disappears, like the letter E. So called, not called, but called, arrived, changed, closed. What I want to show you, and the real secret to understanding this, is the letter before the ed that influences the pronunciation. And this is what I'm going to teach you. This is how you learn how to pronounce it correctly. Now, let's just see again. When you have the D or a T before the ed. So look here, for example, wanted, the TED, right? Or needed. When you have the T or D, it's the easiest group. The sound of the ed is clear. Ted or dead, right? Wanted, needed, ended, invited. This is the easiest group and nobody, not even beginners, have problems with this. The T group is the most important group. And in fact, we will see a lot of videos in next all about the T group and giving a lot of attention, because this is where people have all the mistakes and all the problems. At the end of this module, you're going to understand everything about it and have nice, perfect accent, right? But the secret here is that the ed will have the sound of T, right? Stopped, asked, missed, cooked. Now remember, it's all about what letter is before the ed. In this case, it's S, K, or P. And you can see here, missed, dressed, kissed, promised, worked, talked, stopped, helped. Now, we will see these in more detail with more examples, but this is the idea. Now, other letters that are less, but is SH, C, CH, and X. That when we can see this letter before the ed in a past tense, regular verb, the ed will have the sound of a T. Washed, finished, pushed, advanced, placed, pronounced, fixed, relaxed. Okay? Just some ideas, but we will see in more detail. With the apostrophe D group, it's really the case of any other consonant, right? So with the T group, it's S, K, P, S, C, CH, or X. But with the apostrophe D group, it's any other consonant. And these are the majority of verbs, majority of regular past verbs. This is when the E just disappears, right? So called, not called, or arrived, not arrived. I know some people where your language is very phonetic, that the pronunciation is the same as the writing. This is maybe a challenge or a little frustrating, but just stay with me and learn this, because it's important to have that nice accent, to not say called or arrived. You must learn when it's the right pronunciation, okay? So remember, the secret is to learn to identify the letter before ed, right? In this case, it's an S, so it becomes a T. Promised, promised. And this is what I will show you in the next videos. All right. Now, another really, really important thing, and I see this every time I work with a student. I try to teach them the rules and they don't have patience. They want to pronounce it quickly, super fast, immediately. But please be patient. Train your pronunciation now in 2 steps. Step 1 is say the verb in present tense. Step 2 is next add the sound. For example, call, called. Now, I know maybe you have been pronouncing this verb called, called, or maybe the other verbs stopped, asked, you're saying it incorrectly. But now is your opportunity to stop and to train and to reprogram. See, the muscles in your mouth and your lips is to reprogram the way you're pronouncing it, okay? So now's 2 steps. Call, called. Call, called. If you train this way, I promise you'll have better results and you won't be called right there. Slow down, all right? So if you are not sure if this was a lot of information, the ED group, like with wanted, needed, is the easiest. Nobody has problems. Look at the letter before ED. If it is an S, K, P, S, H, C, C, H, or X, it has a T sound, right? If the verb ends with any other letter, it's the apostrophe D group, all right? Now we're going to see this a lot more. Remember, patience, patience. It's all about going slow and training just a little bit. You're not going to need to train this for weeks and weeks and months. If you just train this now, repeating 5-10 times, if you have a difficult verb, always pausing and participating, you will have amazing results, but you must be patient. Pronounce the verb in the present after you put the sound of apostrophe D or T. Call, called. Work, worked. All right. So that ends this video. In the next video, we're going to start looking at the T group verbs that end with the letter K. All right. See you there, my friends.